Hello and welcome to another episode of The Losers Win Again. I am your host, Jacob Brown, and we are here to talk about Underdog Fantasy, the top 5 NFL player prop bets for Underdog. Super Bowl week's here, guys, and we got to get started. We got to start getting prepared early. A lot of these prop numbers are going to change throughout the week, so now is the time to get the edge, get the advantage, because I'm seeing some pretty interesting props over here on Underdog. Let's go ahead and dive into it. But before we get into our picks for Underdog, I would like to talk about RUNTHESIMS. It's a free promotional week for them, and what the RUNTHESIMS is, it's basically a website where you can project players to do certain things throughout simulations, and it gives you like thousands upon thousands of lineups to use, and it'd be real useful for the showdown slate coming up on Super Bowl Sunday for DraftKings, but it's also useful for what we're about to discuss, like there's a page for players with their yards, fantasy points, receiving yards, targets, receptions, completions, pass attempts. Pretty much anything you can think about for a player, it is on RUNTHESIMS right now, and it really helps you pick your props for the Super Bowl. It's going to help you with your DraftKings showdown slate. It's a really awesome website. It's free this week, and it's something that you could possibly look at for next NFL season, because they do the classic slates, they do the showdown slates. It's great to help build your props, your over and unders. Honestly, guys, this is one of the best websites out there, and I think y'all would really enjoy it. But now on to what y'all all came here for. The top 5 player props for Underdog Fantasy, Super Bowl Sunday. To kick things off here, we got a special line offer. This isn't even included in my top 5, but I just thought I would let you guys know if you aren't familiar with Underdog Fantasy. They do stuff like this all the time, and it's like free money. Joe Burrow over 1 passing yard is a free bet. In my opinion, you can put big money on it. You can put a little money on it. You're going to double up your profit because Joe Burrow is going to throw 1 passing yard. This is a great offer if you just want to have get your feet wet in the prop game for the Super Bowl. This is an easy one. But yeah, I mean, Underdog's awesome like this all the time, guys. Big events like the Super Bowl. I'm sure they're going to be doing it for NBA playoff games. I'm sure they're going to be doing it for baseball games. They're going to have special offers like this. They want to get you involved. Put $20 on this, and you can turn it into 40. Pretty good bet here. And we're going to move on to our top 5 best player prop bets for Underdog right here. To kick off our top 5 list, I'd like to start with Matthew Stafford here. With the help of RUNTHESIMS, I came to the conclusion I want to pick the under on Matthew Stafford at 284.5 passing yards. Pretty simple here. I don't think he's going to throw that much. I think they're going to establish the run early. Matthew Stafford's going to be really efficient. Not a lot of incompletions. I don't think he's going to get over 300 passing yards because I really don't think this game is going to be competitive. I think they're going to win this game by 6-7 points. And yeah, I like the under on 284.5 passing yards for Matthew Stafford. Now we move on to Odell Beckham Jr. He, on Underdog, is projected at 65.5 receiving yards. I'm taking the under. for many reasons, but a lot of you guys are just casual players. No Odell Beckham Jr. off a namesake. And yeah, his performances here recently have been pretty good. But I'm taking the under. There's a reason why he is at that number. And guys, these sites are meant to make money off of casual players. And if you're a casual player, you see Odell Beckham Jr., you see his average since he's been on the Rams, I don't think this is a very wise over to take. So I am taking the under on Odell Beckham Jr. Now we move on to Joe Mixon. He's projected on Underdog to do 63.5 rushing yards. I'm also taking the under on this. The way this game script is looking, I just don't see a big game for Joe Mixon. I haven't liked him much in my DFS research, and looking on RUNTHESIMS, which is now free all week long for the Super Bowl. Looking at his projections on there, I just haven't been very fascinated with Joe Mixon. We also got another bet coming up about Joe Mixon. Taking a lot of unders here on Mixon. I just don't see him having a very good game. Our next prop is another Joe Mixon prop. 4 receptions. I don't see Joe Mixon getting 4 receptions in this game. I'm taking the under. I think this is probably my favorite bet to make on Underdog, other than the Joe Burrow 1 yard bet. I really like this bet. I'm taking the under. RUNTHESIMS has him projected fairly under 4 receptions, and I'm taking that under. Now we move on to Tyler Boyd, and he on Underdog is projected at 39.5 receiving yards. I'm taking the over on that. I think he can get pretty good amount of yardage. Just from the DFS research I've done and the free content that's on RUNTHESIMS this week, I really enjoy what I'm seeing from these Bengals sides of the projections. This is one of the overs I'm taking. I'm taking a lot of unders this week, but this is one of the overs I'm taking. Tyler Boyd at 39.5. That's a smash button lock. Get it while you still can. There you have it, guys. On Underdog Fantasy, take the over on the Joe Burrow special line offer of over 1 yard. That's just a smash bet that everyone should be making. Odell Beckham, the under of 65.5 receiving yards. The under on 284.5 passing yards for Matt Stafford. Joe Mixon taking the under on the 63.5 rushing yards and under on the 4 receptions for Joe Mixon. And last but not least, Tyler Boyd at 39.5 receiving yards. And at this time, I would just like to say thanks for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, if you liked the content, go ahead and hit that like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell so you can get more of my content that comes out week to week basis. And also, I have launched a Patreon page. It's still in the works, but come join my Patreon. I'll be discussing a lot of off-season content once the Super Bowl is over. We'll be having Bestball rankings, a 32-team breakdown, post-free agency and draft, and also we will have a DraftKings tier for NFL once the NFL season begins again. But yeah, I would really like to talk to you guys and help you guys out with next football season. But like always, I'd just like to say thanks for watching, and like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, come join my Patreon, and we will see you next time on the Losers Win Again channel.